Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's sessions. I'm going to be the session moderator. My name's Chuck Bushy. A little bit on my background. I was originally a fire researcher at the fire lab in Missoula in another lifetime years ago. Started my own company, Montana Prescribed Fire Services, which did contract prescribed burning, wildfire suppression, home fuel mitigation services. That's been going on since 1985, so it's a fairly long-lived company. Been with the International Association of Wildland Fire since the mid-1980s. Was president of the association from 2007 to 2011, and has still been staying active behind the scenes with the association wherever allowed. So our first speaker is Jose Duce, and he's going to be talking about an after-action review on a fatality fire. So, Jose.
Bueno, good afternoon, selamat siang, buenas tardes, buena tarde y gracias por venir a esta sesión. Me llamo José Luis Duce y just a simple fire student. I'm going to be talking about a very practical example of what we understand that should be an after-action review, which is one of the most powerful and also cheapest tools to learn about wildfires and about past events. Okay. So as you can see in this slide, this is the slide of the Lessons Learned Center, the Wildland Fire Lessons Learned Center. In some places, to learn about fires is very easy because there are some professional people who have a protocol, a law, regulation that tells them that they need to analyze a fire with any event, and they have to publish what they learned. And in this slide, you can see some very famous, very well-known, tragically well-known events that happen. You have the Storm King Mountain Fire in the 90s, but you also can find some information about South Canyon Fire, and lately, the Yarnell Hill Fire case study. What is an after-action review? Well, it's a review of a past event with a structure, focus on performance that lets the people who participate on that after-action review to learn about a past event, and its focus basically on safety. And it's a process to exchange ideas so everybody can focus on improving themselves and their performances. Evaluates performance, like I said, reports how effective and efficient we were in the past in our actions, analyzes critical actions, or protocols, or even policies, recommends elements to improve, and focuses, like I said, in safety. Definitely is, like I said, one of the most powerful tools that we have to learn, share, grow, and make us, as professionals, more effective, more efficient, and safer. And it's very easy. It's very easy. What can we review in an after-action review? We usually can review strategies and tactics, some specific actions, prescribe or control burns, wildfires, training events, fire seasons, or we can also use it to review our own agency, resources, even a fire or land management strategy or policy. And then at this point, a group of people started asking themselves, what do we here in Spain? Maybe you can ask yourselves, what do you do in your own countries? Why do we do right? Should we improve? Do we even ask those questions ourselves? Which are the consequences of not doing them? Which are the legal consequences? Is there any legal consequence? Which are the economical, operational consequences? And mostly, which are the consequences of doing or not doing after-action reviews for the most important character of this business? Is the firefighter safety. Which are the consequences for our safety as professionals? Okay. I would like to talk about a group of people. The name we call them, or we call ourselves, is Interdispositivos. And let me play with this word, because here, as you can see, Interdispositivos, positivos in Spanish means positive. And we play with that word because we have that positive approach when we analyze actions or when we want to study things. And that's really important for us. What is Interdispositivos? It's a common point in time and place where different people, different professionals meet from different backgrounds, on different positions, like I said, to discuss, learn, share about a fire-related topic. It's creative because every year changes the topic. It also has, we think, a different approach that is positive. We feel that it's a need because when we talk about this, when we meet, we deal with topics that usually other institutions and administrations don't want to or cannot deal with. It's motivating because everybody who goes there and lives there with a very positive and constructive attitude. And finally, it's altruistic, inclusive, and maybe because of that, it's transparent. We share everything we learn, okay? And then the example of what happened in 2014. What was Interdispositivos 2014? It was an after-action review of a past event to share lessons learned, to make our resources and us, ourselves, as professionals, more effective, efficient, and safer. The goal was to review one of the most, I don't know if known, because probably it's not very well-known fire that happened in 2005 in Guadalajara, with the intent so this doesn't happen again, to add our small portion so that doesn't happen again. And basically it was our most respectful, affectionate, and loving way to honor those who left us in that fire, okay? When we started with this story, we had some bottom lines. That's why we said that we had a very different approach, we think. Not blaming. We don't want to delve into the wound. No guilty, because it's useless. And we focus on the what, not on the who. It's inclusive because everybody was invited, even if some people were not allowed to go. And it separates events like different puzzles. We think that in order to understand the whole thing, we need to analyze in different pieces. We contacted real people who was in that event because they could provide us real perspective. And also another of the key things is that we were on site, so we could have a real perception and a better assimilation of what happened. Okay, how we did it? We met like 6 months ahead, and usually it was where good things come up in Spain. It was in a bar. So we decided to establish a calendar and decide which topics we would deal, which topics should be interesting for us to learn about. We built the incident management team, and we started meeting like probably 1 month and a half ahead of the fire, and we went to the site, and we started working on our different sections. Those who are not familiar with ICS, Incident Command System, you know that we have 4 sections there, so we established each section chief and other people from the incident management team. We announced, we started receiving applications, and finally we celebrated. Of course, we had some setbacks and obstacles because it's not a very comfortable topic to talk about. Even some people were not allowed to go, like I said. But we overcame those situations very well, always with a positive attitude. Okay? And we organized, like I said, like an incident. We had our location and facilities. The facilities where we celebrated this event, this after-action review, were in the place where the fire was. Exactly if you go to Guadalajara, to the north of Guadalajara, if you go to the Molina area, Molina de Aragón area, there is a foundation who have a building, and they do some environmental activities, so we celebrated it there. We had daily incident action plans, We divided into different crews or sections or teams to work on different areas. We had every day our morning briefing, and at the end of the day, it was exhausting, but we had our planning meetings. And finally, we did an after-action review with everybody and also with the IMT. Okay? This is a picture of the IMT with different sections, like I said, and even with the teams, their team leaders there, down there. Okay? This is the incident, an example of the incident action plan, and this is the event flyer that we sent to everybody to announce. What did we do? So the review, the after-action review, was celebrated in December the 5th to the 8th, 2014. We started the day receiving, it was, like I said, different days event. And then we had a very interesting reflection of what happened and how to overcome an event that happened here in Catalonia, in Horta de Sant Joan. It was made by the members of the Pau Costa Foundation and also by Pep Payas. And some very interesting and amazing things happened there. And we learned a lot from him and from them. Okay. And then we went through the different pieces of the puzzle, and we were analyzing the different pieces. The pieces we talked about were the weather, fire behavior, the emotional response, the physical readiness, operational approach, how the resources and the agency was, and finally also the ecological aspect. Then we went to once we analyzed those different pieces by a specialist, we took all those things and we went to the place, to the site where the fire was, and we had the staff ride. A very interesting moment was when we were explaining what happened according to some of the witnesses, and we were on the real occasions. And we also celebrated some other activities that you will see now. And we also tried to have an outreach. A radio station, some local newspapers were releasing this news. Not much. And now you're going to see some of the pictures about what happened there those days. This is the morning briefing, the pictures of the morning briefings. This is a very special, and some of you will see people here, which are very popular among us, Pep Payas and Raúl Vicente. And it was a very emotional time. This is the psychologist, Angel and Raúl, talking about the physical fitness and readiness, and also about how the resource was at that time, how it's now, if there's any difference. Raúl Quílez, a great contribution with his interpretations about the fire behavior. And finally, we did the staff ride. We did the 8-kilometer walk from the ignition point of the fire to the accident location. It helped to break the classroom routine, to understand the pieces that were explained, to assimilate the content, and also to have and homage to the firefighters who died there. I want to show this picture because this is how the location is now, 10 years later. To us, one of the conclusions we got is that nature doesn't care about what we do. They work really well. Maybe we are too worried about what happens to nature. And this is 3 pictures, 3 very special moments too about the homage we did. The microdynamics were very important too. Those were small team building activities that helped to break discussions and assimilate contents, to open minds, and promote definitely a positive atmosphere and make the team more cohesive. We also had a race, fire yoga workshops, place to meet people, internet, a music concert, also an auction where we were auctioning because it was self-financed, okay? And this is a council, it's an old tradition that we have in Spain from the Middle Ages, that we honor trees and nature. We celebrated that. And finally, we had 7 groups made of different professionals with different positions who were analyzing the different aspects we were discussing in the class. Each group tried to get different locations, lessons learned from each presentation every day. The result was that the accident was studied by 80 firefighters and fire professionals from different locations. Okay? So about the fire, there's not much to say, or maybe a lot, but basically there are 2 different scenarios that explain what happened. The second day, the fire behaved in a completely different way, and there are two possibilities, two explanations. The first one is that the fire came from the right to the left of the picture. Once changed the field model, it changed the fire behavior dramatically. And the other explanation is that the fire was behaving at the bottom of the creek, the main creek, and once the fire gets the secondary creek and is aligned, three aspects, the aspect, wind, and aspect, which one is the other one? Aspect, wind, and slope, thank you. So it got the trigger point, and the fire blew up there, cutting the escape route, okay? Cutting the escape route of the firefighters. So, which are the conclusions we got? An accident, as a group, the 80 people, we conclude that an accident is not, even people say that there are not accidents, but an accident is a consequence of a series of mistakes happen after wrong decisions based on poor or even not size-ups. The biggest mistake is try to hide them or deny to accept and learn from them. Previous and actual weather was not very favorable, and it was decisive in an out-of-control flame length and rate of spread situation. The team was not cohesive, okay? There was a lack of appropriate training of resources, low level of experience of the team, and leaders in this kind of events. There was an underestimation of fire behavior, and as a consequence, an inadequate and deficient size-up. And there was, we think, a wrong location of the resources, not very good communication, inappropriate structure, and effective coordination. Okay? We concluded that we should have pay attention to the weather, apply LCES and anchor points, take time to plan your actions, work as a team, and take your time to build your team on an everyday basis, and know and accept your limitations. We also think that the attitude is essential, and we need to be motivated and spread motivation, and analyze and share your actions and lessons learned. And these are the final conclusions we got from the event. After action reviews are the best tool we have to learn and share. They are the best tool to improve our resources, efficiency, effectiveness, and safety. 2014 Interdispositivos after action review was the result of a lack of transparency, information, and structure, and fire professionals asking themselves questions to improve, basically, safety. They can help, after action reviews, to improve necessary knowledge and experience needed to take better decisions. And we as professionals have the moral and professional commitment to look for any possible way to learn and share experiences and knowledge with the intent of improving our safety. We also discovered that some people don't like to talk about past wrong events, which can be essential to improve our safety. And fighting fires is not an emergency situation. It's just our profession, and we must accept the responsibilities and be ready to take decisions. I would like to say thank you to all the families, also to those who couldn't go, but we could feel the support, and also to all the firefighters family, okay? And finally, I would like to show this picture because this is the picture that reflects really well which was the atmosphere. As you can see there, everybody was learning, everybody was assimilating, everybody was being professional, and everybody was smiling, a positive attitude. Thank you very much for your time, for your commitment with safety, and hopefully we'll see you in the next Interdispositivos. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for going so fast. It's impossible to reflect what happened those days. There's a document there, here, that we are more than welcome to share. If you have a couple of short questions, you are more than welcome.